Do you know about the band Tally Hall? Probably not, but I know them because Tally Hall is an independent alternative rock band from the 2000s that started with 3 students from the University of Michigan named Andrew Horowitz, Robert Cantor, and Zubin Seji. We only care about Rob right now because sometime around 2000, Rob was attending Andover High School and started a band with a few friends called Listed Black. The band members included Rob on guitar, Zach Craftsman on bass, and Zubin on drums. This band continued playing live shows around their school campus until they graduated in 2002. After the summer ended, Rob had started attending the University of Michigan and was majoring in molecular biology. He had later met his roommate's friend, Andrew Horowitz, who had attended Juilliard and started attending University of Michigan as a composition and English major. Rob's old friend from Listed Black, Zubin, had also started attending University of Michigan in just regular biology. Sometime later, Rob was invited to play at some frat party in early December 2002. So Rob put together a band that included Zubin on bass, Andrew on keyboard, and Rob on guitar. This started the band 540, named after their home address when attending the University of Michigan. Then they recruited a new member, Joe Hawley, their 4th member, who played rhythm guitar, a film major at the University of Michigan, who was eventually the one who proposed the name Tally Hall. Tally Hall is based on the mall near where they used to live in Ann Arbor, with the same name. After these 4 had officially formed a band, they were in dire need of a drummer and landed on a guy named Steven Gallagher. After Steve joined the band, they decided on wearing white dress shirts with colored ties, like the presidents of the United States of America. The colors were red for Joe, blue for Zubin, yellow for Rob, green for Andrew, and Steve picked gray. After having a fully formed Stolen Identity, they started playing live shows around the Ann Arbor area and released a demo tape of the Pingree EP. But then right after releasing it, Steve had this smashing idea to leave the band and go into sales. So now the band had a problem again without having a drummer. But Andrew submitted their song Good Day to the BMI John Lennon Scholarship Award, and they won. This had given them $10,000. And even more good news, Joe remembered a guy that he talked to while campaigning for school government named Ross Fetterman, who mentioned his very interest in drumming to him. Ross would soon join the band and share Steve's tie color. Soonly immediately after Ross joined the band, they made the complete demos, and it got circulated to a guy named Al McWilliams. And Al helped the band get a record deal with a small local record label named Quack Media. After having to rush the album and having an insanely troubled production, Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum was released October 24th, 2005. They immediately started touring and getting small TV appearances. On MTV, they described their music to being similar to Weezer and the Beatles, which were bands that they all listened to. And in my book, The Boys Next Door, there is a guy living next to the Beatles during their time in Hamburg, where they played at places like the Kaiser Keller and the Top 10 Club and the Star Club. Anyways, Tally Hall, a year after they released Marvin's, they remixed it, probably because of how rushed it was, and got some more appearances on TV from it. The album was only really sold at smaller local music stores, but they did get their song Good Day in the Sims 2 Apartment Life expansion pack, completely translated into the fictional language of Simlish. Even with all of this, they didn't really get much of an audience, but they did catch the attention of a bigger record label, Atlantic Records. Tally Hall jumped at the chance to join a big record label, so they signed with Atlantic sometime around 2007. Before making the new album, the band was hoping to make a show, more specifically an internet show, so they asked Atlantic Records if they could back the idea with a moderate budget and be able to record it in the summer of 2007. But the band was also hoping to reach an even bigger audience, and with the major record label, they could actually push the songs out to more people. They soon started re-recording everything and remixed everything again, and re-released Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum on April Fool's 2008. Also, while they were doing that, they released and made the Tally Hall Internet Show, which the first episode was released September 15th, 2008, and was released bi-weekly throughout the rest of the year. This was a sketch comedy show with only a few episodes having a through line throughout the episode. They would end up releasing 10 episodes on Vimeo, later re-uploaded to YouTube. So after all these big releases, they started touring again. But they were getting tired of playing the same old songs. In fact, they'd been playing demos that would show up on their next album since 2006. So in late 2009, they had started recording for their next album. Everything went very smoothly compared to their 2005 recording of Marvin's. They said it would release somewhere around summer of 2007, but it never released. They had also slowed down on their social media accounts on this time, giving 0 updates. Then it all made sense when on their website, their record label changed from Atlantic Records back to Quack Media. No one knows what made them split, but after that, their new album, Good and Evil, was pushed to release for summer of 2011. After Good and Evil's release on June 21st, 2011, there was a national tour around America, but they specified that this would be the only tour promoting the album.
Thank you for choosing Tally Hall's Good and Evil Tour, 2011. My name is Bora. This will be the only tour Tally Hall will perform in direct promotion of Good and Evil.
After the tour ended, everything was slowing down on their social medias at an insane rate. Joe would even end up releasing his own project with Ross and Bora called Miracle Musical, and would release an album called Hawaii Part 2 on December 12th, 2012. Hawaii Part 2 was basically a Tally Hall project, except they had Andrew excluded, and they had about 40 people working on the album. But then after that big release, they started working on a new project in 2013, but nothing came of it. After this, the social medias were basically just a place to promote the band's solo projects, with Andrew releasing etudes and sketches, Rob making Not a Trampoline, and a viral video called Shia LaBeouf Live. It's about Shia LaBeouf being a murderous cannibal and hunting you in the woods. It got very popular on SoundCloud, and then Rob made a vast music video that included the Gay Men's Choir of Los Angeles, the West LA Children's Choir, and the Argus Quartet, and even Shia LaBeouf himself at the end. Not long after that, Joe made an actual solo album under his own name. The album was called Joe Holly, Joe Holly. It didn't really reach anyone other than just core Tally Hall fans. And there hasn't been that many things after that. But I bet you're not wondering, what are they doing now? Zubin and Ross both continued their college degrees. Zubin is a practicing family medicine doctor, and Ross is an immunologist. Andrew is still making and producing music, and Joe is still trying to get Tally Hall back together with Ross and writing music. And Rob, with the arguably most successful post-Tally Hall career, is making, drumroll please, baby Disney kids music. And that is the extremely simplified version of the entire history of Tally Hall. Thank you for watching!